Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're a busy professional, you probably don't care which AI just beats some abstract benchmark, right? You just want to bypass all that hype to figure out which AI subscription is actually worth your hard-earned monthly budget. Right now, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini all sit in a very similar price range. But what you actually get for that money, well, it's completely different depending on which one you pick. Let's untangle this. So are you paying for the wrong AI? Honestly, it's a super common problem right now. Since these tools all cost about the same, usually around $20 a month, a lot of folks are just wasting their money. Why? Because they picked a brand name or a favorite rather than picking the right tool for their specific job.
To get this sorted, here is our game plan. First, the AI subscription trap. Then we'll open up the toolbox and look at ChatGPT, the versatile assistant, Claude, the careful editor, and Gemini, the ecosystem worker. Finally, we'll wrap up with a clear decision framework.
All right, Section 1, the AI subscription trap. Avoid the hype. See, the tech industry totally wants us stuck in this sports team mentality. You know the drill, picking a side, putting on the jersey, and arguing endlessly on the internet about which model won the latest benchmark test. We really need to shift our mindset entirely to a toolbox mentality. An AI subscription is not a trophy to show off. It is a practical tool meant to fix your specific daily bottleneck. Quick heads up before we break down the tools, though. This space moves incredibly fast. Features, pricing, limits, they shift all the time. So treat everything in this explainer as a solid starting point to make a structural decision, but absolutely check the current official plan pages before you actually hand over your credit card. Let's pull our first subscription card. Section 2, ChatGPT, the assistant, the Swiss Army knife. Think of ChatGPT as the ultimate Swiss Army knife. It's ideal for creators, casual users, or really anyone who just needs a super flexible assistant. What's amazing here is the sheer breadth of what it handles. It does the most things under one roof without making you switch apps. You get image generation, file analysis, broad research, those really excellent voice features, and general coding help. It consistently delivers on everyday tasks, and honestly, its message limits tend to be way more forgiving than the competition. But yeah, there's a catch, because it's a jack of all trades that tries to do literally everything. Its writing style can sometimes feel a bit generic. Plus, if you're someone who gives very specific, rigid formatting rules, ChatGPT might actually fight you on them. It kind of likes doing things its own way. Moving right along, Section 3, Claude, the editor, the careful writer. If ChatGPT is your Swiss Army knife, Claude is that meticulous editor sitting at a perfectly clean, uncluttered desk. The ideal user profile shifts completely here. We're talking researchers, professional writers, and serious coders. It doesn't try to do everything. There is no built-in image or video generation. Instead, what you're paying for is unmatched writing quality and incredible depth of thinking. Claude excels at deep document analysis, holding a precise professional tone, and managing really complex coding workflows. Best of all, if you give it exact instructions and strict formatting rules, it won't argue. It just follows them cleanly. The trade-off here is very real, though. Because Claude processes information so deeply, you can hit your message limits much faster than you'd expect, especially if you're working with heavy, long text documents. And once you hit that limit, you're locked out and have to wait for the timer to reset. All right, our third option. Section 4, Gemini, the ecosystem, the Google worker. Forget about raw intelligence debates for a second. Gemini's real superpower isn't about raw brain power. It's entirely about where it lives. Gemini is the ultimate ecosystem worker, ideal for students, analysts, and anyone whose work life is already fully baked into Google. It's built directly into Gmail, Google Docs, and Drive. The massive advantage here is you never have to switch tabs or copy-paste text back and forth. It's just right there. Plus, it offers powerful real-time web research and actually cites its sources. But you guessed it's another trade-off to consider. When you pull Gemini outside of that native Google ecosystem workflow, its writing tone can sometimes feel a bit overly cautious or, frankly, quite corporate. It truly shines brightest when acting as your integrated assistant right inside Google Workspace. So, we've laid out the three main cards. Let's bring it all together in Section 5, Decision Framework, Where to Spend. This is our practical, non-technical blueprint for deciding exactly where to put your money. Let's walk through the steps. Step 1. Stay free. If you only use AI once in a while to clean up an email or summarize a quick article, do not pay. The free tiers are honestly fantastic today. Step 2. Pay for one. Find your biggest daily bottleneck and buy the one tool that fixes it. Step 3. Pay for 2. Only do this if your work splits into 2 drastically different jobs. Like, say, a business owner writes massive contracts. They'd use Claude for deep work and ChatGPT for fast creative brainstorming. That makes sense. And finally, step 4, avoid all 3. Almost no one needs all 3 subscriptions unless you are literally an AI consultant testing tools for a living. Paying for 3 isn't a strategy, it's just expensive.
To sum up everything we've covered in this explainer, matching the tool to your problem is incredibly simple. If your bottleneck is needing a versatile tool for everyday creative and analytic tasks, you want the Swiss Army knife, ChatGPT. If your bottleneck is needing deep analysis on long documents and precise formatting, you want the careful editor, Claude. And if your bottleneck is needing seamless integration directly inside your Google workflow, you want the ecosystem worker, Gemini.
Like we discussed earlier, you don't need a trophy, you need a tool. So I'm going to leave you with this final question to challenge your workflow. Which daily bottleneck are you going to fix first? Take a hard look at your daily tasks, match your biggest problem to the right subscription, and take some practical action today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.